What would you do if a sheriff publicly handcuffed a single dad during breakfast in front of his young daughter? It sounds shocking, but this story takes an even more unexpected turn. In a small Texas town, an arrogant sheriff thought he was arresting a suspicious stranger. Confident in his authority, he never imagined that the quiet father sitting in the diner was actually one of the most powerful law enforcement leaders in America. What happened next left the entire town speechless and taught a lesson about respect, judgment, and the dangers of making assumptions. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring story. Now grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy this incredible tale. Let's get started. The morning sun cast a warm glow across the small Texas town as people began their daily routines. Inside a cozy diner on Main Street, the smell of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air. Mark Reynolds sat quietly in a corner booth, enjoying a simple breakfast before taking his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, to school. As a single father, these peaceful mornings meant everything to him. Emma sat across from him, happily drawing pictures on a napkin while waiting for her pancakes. To anyone watching, they looked like an ordinary father and daughter, sharing a calm moment together. The diner buzzed with light conversation until the front door suddenly swung open. Sheriff Brad Collins entered with 2 deputies close behind. His expression was stern, and he scanned the room as if searching for someone dangerous. Earlier that morning, the sheriff had received a call about a suspicious man matching a vague description without taking the time to verify the information. He was convinced the person was inside the diner. His eyes landed on Mark U. The sheriff barked loudly. Every conversation in the diner stopped instantly. Customers turned their heads toward the booth. Emma looked up nervously from her drawing. Mark remained calm and politely asked if there was a problem. "Stand up and keep your hands where I can see them," Sheriff Collins ordered, confused but cooperative. Mark slowly stood. He tried, explaining that he was simply having breakfast with his daughter. But the sheriff refused to listen. Convinced he had found his suspect, Collins grabbed Mark's arm. Gasps spread through the diner as metal handcuffs clicked around Mark's wrists. Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Dad didn't do anything wrong," she said softly. Mark stayed composed despite the humiliation. He reassured his daughter that everything would be fine. Meanwhile, the sheriff ignored the concerned looks from customers and escorted Mark toward the exit, completely unaware that he had just handcuffed one of the most powerful law enforcement officials in the country. Sheriff Collins pushed open the diner's front door and led Mark Reynolds toward the parking lot, clearly satisfied with himself. The morning air was still, but the tension around them was growing inside the diner. Customers pressed against the windows, watching the scene unfold. Emma stood near the door, tears running down her cheeks. As she watched her father being taken away, Mark remained calm despite the handcuffs on his wrists. He knew there had been a mistake, but he was surprised by how quickly the sheriff had acted, without asking basic questions. Just as Collins reached his patrol vehicle, the sound of engines echoed across the parking lot. Everyone turned to see 3 black SUVs speeding toward the diner. The vehicle stopped abruptly, and several sharply dressed agents stepped out. Their eyes immediately locked onto Mark. One of the agents hurried forward, his face filled with disbelief. "Sheriff, what on earth are you doing?" he demanded. Collins frowned. "I'm arresting a suspect. Stay back." The agent looked at Mark and then back at the sheriff. "That's not a suspect, that's Director Mark Reynolds of the FBI." For a moment, everything seemed frozen. The sheriff's confidence vanished instantly. His face turned pale as he realized what he had done. The deputies exchanged nervous glances, and a crowd began gathering near the diner entrance. An agent quickly stepped forward and removed the handcuffs. Mark rubbed his wrists but showed no anger. Emma ran across the parking lot and wrapped her arms around him. He hugged her tightly, reassuring her that everything was okay. Sheriff Collins struggled to find words. "Director Reynolds, I'm sorry, I didn't know." Mark looked at him calmly. "That's exactly the problem, Sheriff. You didn't know, because you never stopped to ask." The words hit harder than any punishment. The sheriff lowered his head in embarrassment. News of the incident spread quickly throughout town, becoming a lasting reminder that authority should never replace fairness, respect, and careful judgment.